and of scarcity. For me, one of the biggest things that I struggle with is this piece of scarcity, thinking that I don't know what's going to happen next. I don't see the road ahead. I don't know how I'm going to provide or the next step that's going to open, the thing that's going to open for me. And there's this piece that drives me to a place of feeling scarcity, feeling this fear. Now, I feel it myself and I see it a lot with the clients that I serve because we have a lot of people that have this fear of what's going on. Will he come back? Will he abuse me more? Will this happen? And there's all this fear of the unknown. Then there's this worry of like, I don't know if I can actually heal. I don't know if I can actually do this. I don't know if this is even possible for being able to move forward and to actually find freedom. And then oftentimes there's a piece of scarcity. Is he going to take the kids? Is he going to leave me with no money? How is the divorce going to fall out? And all of this continues to just well up and be this piece that fills everything with fear, with worry, and scarcity. And so I want you to consider, like, this is a piece that I've been struggling with for months and even for years, different pieces. It'll rise up and I'll feel like, oh no, the world is ending. Then I'll go back down. I'll be like, okay, phew, I've got it figured out. Then I'm like, nope, don't have it figured out. And it's this mental roller coaster of fear, of scarcity, and of worry, constantly like bombarding me thinking, you're not good enough. You can't figure this out. You're not the guy to be able to help people. All these thoughts, right? How many of you have dealt with scarcity, fear, or worry? Type in me into the chat. You're like, hey, I struggle with this. I struggle with this piece of like worry and fear and scarcity, wondering what's going to happen, how I'm going to survive, what are the next steps. If you're struggling with that right now, then type in me into the chat and then stick around because I want to tell you how to combat it. But if you're in this place and I'm fearful of what's going to happen, I'm fearful of how he's going to respond, I'm fearful because I don't know the path ahead, I don't know the plan to move forward, type in me. If you're like, hey, I'm scared. Like there's a piece of like, I have this piece of fear that's going on that I don't understand what to do. I don't understand how to be able to move forward. Type in me in the chat. And if there's a piece of scarcity where you're like, I feel like scarce, like I feel like I don't know where the next paycheck's coming from. I don't know where the next piece of happiness is coming from. Like everything in your life just feels completely scarce. Type in me. Okay. I want you to understand all of these pieces that are getting pushed on you, all of these pieces, scarcity, fear, and worry. They're slowing you down and they're keeping you from your true purpose and your true calling. Like they're actively attacking you to hold you back. So, question is, how do we actually work past them? How do we work through them? Okay. The piece I want to share with you that is absolutely huge in working through this is one simple word: gratitude. You might be like, I don't want to give thanks for where I'm at. I get it. What would happen if you did? Gratitude does this unique thing inside your mind because it starts to take you away from looking at the problems and looking at the scarcity and looking at the fear and looking at the path being like, I don't understand the path. I don't understand the direction I'm supposed to go. And instead, gratitude starts to be like, wait a second, look at how far you've come. Look at the awareness you have now. Look at the knowledge you have now. Look at the education you didn't have before. Now you actually can make a step forward. We were talking about this inside of the Thriver group last night. And one of the people that we were talking about was talking through this piece of an obstacle, a wall that was in her way. And she said one of the things that changed for her was looking at this obstacle and viewing it as an opportunity. What is it actually teaching me? What am I actually learning from this? How am I actually growing, changing, developing? You can't focus on that if you're focused on the problem. You can't focus on that if you're filled with scarcity and worry and fear. And you're like, I don't know what's going to happen. But it starts to shift and change when you embrace gratitude. You see, gratitude has been one of the biggest things that has transformed my mindset. Being able to go into a stack, which is rewiring my mindset, and being able to take gratitude, which is me learning how to focus on everyone else versus me, and me being able to say, I'm thankful for that person because of this, because of these emotions, because of these feelings, because of everything. It starts to open up my perspective of gratitude. It starts to open up how I'm thinking, how I'm feeling, how I'm showing up on a day-to-day basis. Gratitude is key because it switches my focus away from the obstacle and towards the path of joy, towards the path of contentment, towards the path of I can actually figure this out. Gratitude is an extremely powerful tool of cultivating resilience, getting to a piece of having equanimity in your life, peace in the middle of duress. Like the chaos, the wildness that's going on, you actually show up in a different way. So if you're at this place where you find yourself overwhelmed by scarcity, by fear, by worry, I want you to consider, just for this week, adopt a gratitude practice. Maybe that's every single morning writing something down. Maybe that's writing a note of gratitude to yourself at night and then you read it in the morning. I do a piece of practice gratitude stacking where it actually is a framework that walks me through, having me stop and realize, hey, this is what I'm thankful for, having me extrapolate the feelings and the emotions. How do I actually feel and what emotions come up about this subject? What is it actually telling me? What am I learning from this? Because no matter how big or how small, when you start to engage in gratitude, it shifts your perspective no matter what. Some of you right now are struggling because you haven't been able to find happiness in your life. It's because you don't have gratitude. Some of you are like, I just wish I was able to have joy and peace. Some of the first step is you need to have gratitude in your life. Once you understand this simple concept, you cannot have joy in your gratitude if you cannot have joy in your life if you don't have gratitude. If there's not this piece of thankfulness and understanding, hey, I can actually be thankful for what's going on. I can be thankful for what I'm learning. I can be thankful for now I have this education, this perspective, this knowledge that I can pivot and do something different versus being a victim to the circumstances. That changes the frame of everything and it lets you be freed. Gratitude is a huge practice and a huge step in you finding true joy and true freedom from the toxic relationship that you're in. If you're in a toxic relationship, if you're a woman trapped into a toxic relationship and you're looking for freedom, then I want you to comment freedom down below and I'll shoot you a message because I want to help give you the tools to show you how we help liberate people to be free from the toxicity that you're currently stuck in. So shoot me a comment that says freedom, or if you're watching on YouTube, you can click on the link, rawmotivations.com/breakthrough. Y'all have a blessed and wonderful day, and